Hello again, and thanks for joining us. All right, let's go straight away to look at the top stories in the newspapers this Tuesday, starting off with First Nation. And the tax reform controversy is still featuring prominently, as we will see together. Let's check out First News now. Presidency rejects regional bias accusations. Northern governors still united against proposals. Orji Kalu, now Senator, former governor, calls for broader consultation. And on the Simon Ekpa matter, why he will not, this pro-Biafra leader will not get bail in Finland as Finnish authorities declare. RCCG pastor arrested abroad over ladies and gentlemen greeting. 774 local thieves, better than one big thief. Oshomole defends LG financial freedom. Just be beside the masthead, target bigger fish, not Yahoo boys, Justice Schreiber tells anti-graft agencies. To the Punch now, still on tax reform, PDP, others urge talks as presidency defense bills. Senators Okpayemi, Dixon, Kalu, reps. Back bills, opposition warn FG against using force. FG protests Nigerian Army's probe by the International Criminal Court and its tears as customs officer wife, 4 children die in Osun fire. Ajayi to appeal ruling upholding Aiyedatiwa deputy's candidacy. That's an ongoing legal matter in Ondo State. Low-income earners can withdraw total retirement savings, PENCOM says. Nigerian Tribune now. TET fund Naseni NITDA will not be scrapped. Presidency clarifies regarding the raging tax reform debate, assures proposed law will not benefit wealthier states disproportionately. Why Senate will pass tax reform bills. Former Governor Seriake Dixon, who is now a senator, says. On the minimum wage matter, states take on NLC. You're being unfair to us. Kaduna government tells NLC. Abia government debunks claims of non-implementation of new wages and a host of other riders. Borno to build first intra-city rail network in the north. And gunmen kidnap Lagos-Abuja passengers in Kogi State, demand 100 million naira ransom per person. The Daily Times now, tax reform bills, Senate's second reading passage hasty, smacks transparency. And tax reforms will not harm North. No agency scrap plan. That's still, the presidency defending that. On the Bi-National Commission between Nigeria and South Africa, well, both nations are to collaborate on geologist certification and professional standards. Edo governor swears in 3 judges. Obaseki delayed. Good LG system will relieve states of unnecessary burdens. And Port Harcourt Refinery, Tinubu leading Nigeria's transformation, says Okukwe. Finally with me is the Leadership newspaper. Pressure mounts, it says, over tax reform bills. As Kano Assembly rejects bills, passes resolution. Borno Governor Zulum advocates wider consultation. No provision to impoverish North, says presidency, insists agencies such as TET fund are sending it that will not be scrapped. Inflationary pressures hamper business operations. That's also captured on the Leadership. NLC draws battle with 6 states over the implementation or otherwise of the minimum wage. Biden pardons son over tax evasion charges. Come clean on Edo election, Chidoka tells INEC. And finally, stakeholders demand Nigeria's restructuring. Theophilus.
New Telegraph from my end says here, tax reform bills won't destroy any state's economy, says presidency. Says bill meant to streamline tax administration, scrapping of TET fund and ascending NITDA not recommended. National Assembly will pass bills despite opposition, says Dixon. As Kano reps bill, says bills anti-people capitalist. Don't rush debate on bill, Obi advises National Assembly. We're building prosperous, inclusive, self-reliant society, says Sanwo-Olu. Abandoned project, minister threatens to revoke contracts. NBA to judges address doubts about accountability. Nigeria practicing electoralism, not democracy, says Fayemi. Daily Independent says governors back administrative financial autonomy for local government. Local government reforms more urgent need for Nigeria, says Rep Speaker. Says local governments not need autonomy to respond to needs of communities. Decries poor quality of elections into councils across the state. National Assembly will pass tax reform bills. Heavens won't fall, says Dixon. Tax reform bills not to impoverish the North, says Presidency. Says it will help overburdened Nigerian investors. This Nigeria says EFCC records landmark recovery of 753 duplexes from government officials in Abuja. This is the single largest asset recovery by EFCC since its inception in 2003. The estates rest on plots 109 Cadastral Zone C09 in Lukogoma District. Transport unions, residents, others decry state of expressways in Lagos. August protest. IGP orders probe into alleged brutality. Tax reform bills won't impoverish North, says Presidency. Platform Time says it's better to have 774 thieves than one big thief. For Shomole backs local government autonomy. Dramas, DSS Serap clash over denial of name in court. Minimum wage. Ebonyi governor threatens striking workers with dismissal. Rivers police smash child trafficking syndicate. Arrest 2 female suspects. Rescue 4 children. Customs soldiers brutalized residents over video recorded on Badagry Seme Road. 753 duplexes forfeited as EFCC makes unprecedented single largest asset recovery in Abuja. Police refute amnesty report on killing of end bad governance protest. The Guardian says Electoral Act states face subsidy burden as Lagos leads with $10 billion deal legislation. Okay. Nigeria raises $2.2 billion from latest Eurobond. 90% of Nigerians support tax reform bill, says Oyedele. MBF fought amnesty for repentant terrorists. NLC vows to pursue new wage implementation before January. Of course, we have details of this and more in the Guardian newspaper this morning. Plus, the graph here, electricity challenges in Nigeria and states prospects. Nigerian News Direct is saying here, Eurobond issuance oversubscribed by $9 billion as Nigeria returns to international capital markets to use proceeds to finance 2025 budget. Aigboje Agimokwede lauds Macron for achieving in 6 years what took the UK 50. Court grants EFCC forfeiture over 753 duplexes in Abuja estate. Mixed reactions trail Tinubu's tax reform bill. Lagos graduates over 2,000 students from technical colleges. New minimum wage. Osun workers hail Governor Adeleke, declare support for re-election bid. Of course, finally from my end, the Daily Trust says CBN to retire 1,000 offers 50 billion naira payoff. They're offering me 97 million naira for 4 years. All right, so that's it in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, those are the newspapers. As you have seen, the tax reform bills are also one of the loudest, stories so far. The minimum wage is also another matter, especially as Nigerians are looking for a way out of the challenges on their hands. Christmas around the corner, people still needing to make essential purchases. As it's already upon us. The Christmas everywhere is already looking, is already bearing the feel. It may not be as before, but it's in your face. It's in your face. You may not have, but it's in your face. You cannot, excuse that, or you cannot ignore that. And so there is, pressure now more than ever before for, governments of the day to ensure that, Nigerians are in a better place. Their constituents are in a better place. And that's what, this minimum wage, I believe that's the standpoint from NLC, as they have now sought to embark on this, battle, so to speak, with certain state governors to ensure that the new minimum wage is indeed implemented. But as people have also noted, it's just for public servants, for civil servants. What about the other crop of Nigerians?
Yes, well, the minimum wage is binding on everybody, both public and private sector. So we do expect that by now, the private sector would have aligned and started paying their workers the minimum wage, increased minimum wage, from 30,000 now to 70,000. So we do hope that this has happened, and like we always say, the economy has not been looking good, and so every hands must be on deck to ensure that succor is brought to the people.
Right. Okay, so that said, of course, we'll continue to discuss these issues, and the show this morning will, of course, continue in that mandate. Coming up on TVC Breakfast, the Nigeria Labour Congress begins strike in states yet to implement payment of the new minimum wage. Join us for this discussion after the break. Stay with us.